An attachment. Gautama the Buddha said, the source of the misery is an attachment. What is meant by attachment? So far as we are attached to something, misery is bound to come. One of my friend's relatives brought a $3,000 watch from London for his son and proudly showed it to my friend. Almost immediately, it fell to the ground. The glass was broken. The relative became upset at that point, and my friend told him he needed to keep this watch carefully and must take care. Now everything is over, the glass has broken and will not come back, and he started giving a lot of advice. After a few days, I got the opportunity to meet that friend again. His watch fell down and broke. He started crying. The watch was not costly, yet he started crying. When his relative's expensive watch fell, he gave a sermon, but when the matter came to him, he started crying. We do not feel sad if any accident occurs in a neighbor's Mercedes-Benz, but we feel sad if any scratch or damage occurs to our ordinary car. When someone has beaten a neighbor's spouse or parents, we show sympathy, we do not feel very much. But when someone abuses our family members, we become even angrier. Attachment causes suffering. Conclusion: attachments can be with a person, any object, or even our own body, thoughts, or senses. Ego is the hurdle to real happiness. A case study: who is a slave? Once, a monk was walking along with his disciple. They saw a cow tied with a rope next to the farmer near a farm. The monk asked his disciple, "Who is the owner and who is the slave?" The disciple replied, "Master, anyone can understand that the cow is the slave, and that man is the owner." The master approached the cow, took a knife from his bag, and cut the rope. The cow immediately started running, and the man sitting nearby ran behind it and shouted at the monk. Then the monk asked his disciple, "Now tell me who is the owner and who is the slave." Moral: it is often said that we are the masters, but we are actually the slaves of our own minds. In reality, our minds use us rather than we use it. We are the slaves of our five senses, of objects, and wherever addiction and temptation occur, we become slaves to those things. A person may seem to be very wealthy, but in reality, he may be a slave to wealth. The law of akarma: there are various karmas, actions, such as sakarma, good karma, kukarma, bad karma, and vikarma, which means that if one expects something in return and does not receive it, and will react on that, which is called vikarma. But what Krishna talks about in Gita about akrama is, karmanai vadhikarest ma phaleshu katakan. A person should perform their duties without expecting any rewards. In the same vein, Buddha spoke about detachment or non-attachment as well. Why Buddha said, "Don't defame anyone." The reason is that once you criticize or defame someone, it means that you are comparing that person with yourself. You think you are superior to others. Ego comes into the picture. As long as the ego exists, one cannot get liberation as well as true happiness. Once, while Buddha was sitting under a tree with his disciples, another monk walked by. Buddha said, "See how happy he is. He killed his mother and father and is now living happily ever after." Buddha used a metaphor here: desire is the mother, and ego is the father. Desire is like luggage. For example, you want to go on a 2-day tour and you have heavy luggage. Do you think your journey will be comfortable? Definitely not. If you carry a less luggage, your journey will be more comfortable. Life is also a type of journey. If you want to enjoy the journey, carry less luggage. Luggage is your desires or wishes. Attachment with bad habits: negative emotions are created by people who are not aware of their bad habits. People who defame others, lie, commit sexual misconduct, steal, and kill suffer a lot. How to know the difference between good and bad? Interpretation affects happiness. What is good? The majority of people in India's Maharashtra state marry their maternal uncle's daughter, whereas Muslims marry their cousins. In North and East India, they are not allowed to marry close relatives. I read an article about a closely related couple who got married and were killed by villagers in Haryana. This is a case of honor killing. When I came to South India, I was surprised. These people have the custom to marry either a maternal uncle or the maternal uncle's son as well. What decides whether something is good or bad? It is our culture that decides what is good and bad. Which behavior is good in Western countries may be considered as bad in Eastern countries. Then who decides good and bad? Only culture decides good and bad. A few years ago, I conducted a faculty development program for a mixed group of males and females. I had shown a news article to them regarding Canadian women wanting to be topless, so they were on strike. I asked the female faculties, "Do you want this type of gender equality?" They replied, "No, no. We do not want this type of equality." It shows that good and bad are decided by culture. I again asked the participants following questions. Case 1, a criminal who kills 2 people in the market is getting punishment, whereas a soldier who kills 100 enemies is getting a gallantry reward. Why this difference? Why the difference if the action is the same, killing? Case 2, a person met with an accident and got punished, whereas a similar accident happened and that person ran away. Who will get more punishment? Either the person who surrendered to the police or the one who ran away. Definitely, an absconder gets more punishment because that is a deliberate act. The person who surrendered was an accidental act, his intention was not to harm others, but it happened accidentally. The person who ran away did so on purpose. Case 3, a man or woman keeping a physical relationship with a spouse is considered good by society. But in extramarital affairs, if the same activity happens with the other person, then why is it considered as bad? I am going to share my wisdom here. In case number 1, the intention of criminals was selfish, whereas a soldier's intention was human welfare. The action that happens in favor of society and human welfare is good. In case number 1, a criminal kills 2 people, then he will always be afraid that the police may catch him. In case number 3, if someone keeps an extramarital affair, then he or she gets negative emotions. For example, if someone informs the spouse about it, it may lead to separation or divorce. Even though the spouse is not aware of this illegal connection, he or she may feel guilty inside. So, in both cases, negative emotions generate either fear, guilt, or regret. Conclusion: those actions are made with a selfish motive that may harm others, also actions and thoughts that trigger negative emotions in you that are considered bad. As I conducted a workshop for corporates, I called on a volunteer and gave him a small pen. Then I asked the audience, suppose this man would hold it for 3 minutes, what will happen? They answered, nothing will happen, there is no problem if he holds it for 10 minutes. I asked the participants, what will happen if he holds it for 2 hours, and they said, his hand will hurt. I then asked, what will happen if he holds it for an entire day, and they said, his hand might become crippled. Conclusion: whether the problem is small or big, it does not matter as long as we hold it, and it makes us feel even worse. We should be careful not to carry our stress, anxiety, regret, or any negative emotion for a long period of time, and we should try to leave them as soon as possible. Case study: Nithyananda, a spiritual teacher, once said in a lecture that when he was a child, his father gave him 100 rupees on his birthday to distribute among the poor children. He gave all of 100 rupees to only one boy. His father chastised him for giving all the money to just one boy when he could have given it to many. Nithyananda said to his father, I have to give this 100 rupees to others where one or many make no difference to me. Moral: the above example shows Nithyananda had detachment, non-attachment, with money. The way to happiness. The law of giving, as Newton's third law states, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. If you want happiness, give happiness to others. Forgiveness. The process of forgiveness can help you get rid of negative or disempowering memories. Forgiveness cuts the bond of the defiling element, vikar, and leads us to happiness. Therefore, no matter what others do to you, whether they are relatives, friends, or colleagues, you must forgive them because it is in your best interest to do so. It is not healthy for you to hold your anger for such a long duration and take action against others, as it may hurt them for a short period, but it is damaging to you for a long period. Therefore, holding any negative emotion for such a long period of time is not healthy for you. It's better to forget it. Gratitude. I remember my grandfather used to tell me to pray for food and eat it when I was a child, but at that time I had no idea what he was telling me. Sometimes I prayed and ate, sometimes I forgot about it, but now that I understand the scientific reason behind it, I won't miss praying before food anymore. Gratitude has tremendous power. In gratitude, we always feel positive emotions. When we express gratitude, we never experience negative emotions. This technique is very powerful for raising the level of happiness and bringing peace. Gratitude meditation. Find a calm and quiet place where you will not be disturbed, and sit in a comfortable position. Your head, neck, and back should be straight. If you feel uncomfortable, use a wall or lie on your back in a comfortable position. You can do this exercise in a sitting position or while lying down. Allow your eyes to gently close. Take a slow and deep breath. Focus your attention on your breath. See how the breath enters and exits, see the expansion of your belly. When breath comes inside, the belly expands, when breath goes outside, the belly goes inside. Just be in the present moment. Now mentally scan your body for any area of your body where you feel tightness, tension, or soreness. Allow the tension to dissipate outside as you exhale. Whenever you notice a negative emotion, allow it to flow out as you breathe out. The gratitude process begins with acknowledging that we have everything we need in the modern world. We turn on the fan or air conditioner to get cool air, we open the faucet to get clean, drinkable water, we have a roof to protect us from the sun and rain, we have wide roads, vehicles, medical facilities, radio and television for entertainment, a washing machine to wash clothes, a refrigerator to store food and vegetables, and so on. But think of the challenges faced by our ancestors. We live with a lot of comfort. Show gratitude to all of those countless people who have contributed to making our lives more comfortable. Also, show gratitude to the sun for providing energy to all of us. Without the sun, there would be no life on this planet. Show gratitude to the sun. Thank the farmers and laborers who cultivate the vegetables and food grains, as well as the workers and drivers who transport them to markets, and thank the engineers and laborers who contributed to the construction of roads and bridges. Without them, getting vegetables available in the city would be difficult. Breakfast has been prepared by somebody and served to you, so give thanks to them. Everything we do in our daily lives relies on somebody else contributed to it. By showing gratitude, we come with a positive mindset. Negative emotions cannot coexist with gratitude. So, practice gratitude meditation every day. For details on gratitude meditation, visit below mentioned link. Gratitude is the best medicine to get the happiness, it doesn't matter what comes to you. Accept it as a gift, express gratitude for the universe, and even in adversity find opportunities for happiness. Dr. Bharat Chaugule, PhD. Question 1. Do you have attachment? Yes or no? Question 2. If your answer is yes, write down your possible attachments. Question 3. Points to ponder, take away from the chapter. Question 4. Write down various ways to overcome your attachments. $1 million question. What goodness exists in giving something to others, if you expect something in return?